Well, hi, everybody. It's another Conversations with, and I am absolutely delighted because I have my friend, the Major, is with me today. My good friend, Joe Rolanitis from the FDA. That's the Food and Drug Administration. And it's delightful, Joe, to have you with us. And one of the things, we've done so many wonderful programs. We've never spent any time talking about seniors.
I know. What's wrong with
And
that?
since you and I are slowly
We're approaching that
we're
era.
approaching that
Yeah.
area, I thought it might be a great time to sit and do some talk about seniors.
Sure.
And alert them, because we have a wonderful viewing audience, and it's just a great opportunity to reach out and chat about that.
Sure. Well, Coach, thanks again for having me on here. You know, this is one of my favorite places to be because you do have a great audience. You really get out there and you multiply your bicycling programs all over the place.
Well, we're up on YouTube now.
Oh, you guys are great.
If you go to TV, folks, listen, TV Charlton, Mass. Go onto YouTube and go to TV Charlton, Mass, and all our programs come up, and you can just hit on the one you want to watch.
That's great.
How about that?
That's coverage. That's getting the message out there. I love it.
Man, are we there?
You are there. You are the people. Look, at the American population is aging, not you and I, that's for sure. But the FDA is really aware of that. You know, you've got an older population, and these are vigorous, active people that sometimes don't always carry a degree of awareness on certain things the FDA covers.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I got some information back, I think it was 3 years ago, 2014 that would be, that starting in January of 2014, every single month for the next 7 years, from 2014 to 2021, 10,000 people a month will turn 60.
How about that? 60. That's the
60.
cutoff age for you. Yeah.
And the interesting thing is, and I don't want to say it because I don't want to be inaccurate, but sometime, I think it's either 2019 or 2020, we will have more people in Massachusetts who are over 60 than under it.
You know what, Richard? That's why this program is so important.
That's right.
It really is.
And that's the baby boomers, of course. Here
They
they
age.
come.
We all age.
Here they come.
There's no doubt about it. And you know, there's many facets of being aware of your health for that group, for any group. But let's just be senior-centric today. I think that's a good idea, and thank you for doing that. You know, I mean, the FDA produces a lot of literature, and you can contact my office and get almost anything. But I have right here a small brochure which talks about reading nutrition labels, and we've talked about that before, especially as sort of a how-to guide for senior citizens.
Right.
Understanding what you need, how to determine serving sizes, look at sodium, look at sugars, get some guidance from your dietitian on how you should eat safely, the right things for you if you're taking medications, really important. So this guide in particular is really, really important. You can go on the FDA's website. You can go on any website, folks, and Google, good nutrition facts for seniors, and it'll help you a great deal. So that's probably the first step in understanding how to be healthy.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned it, Joe, because one of the things that happens to people, and my hand is up, boy, are we all guilty. We get a certain food that we like.
Oh, we do.
And we can't have enough of it.
We do. Can you say chocolate?
Yeah, well, I don't. I got to be. I'm a Snickers guy. If I go buy a count of the Snickers on it, boy, my hand reaches right out.
Coach, I never knew that.
I got to be careful.
This is a secret.
I got to be careful. But no. But the thing is, for instance, I really like fish, and fish is
great for you.
incredibly for you.
Great for you.
So I try to have fish at least twice every week.
You've mentioned that.
And that's one of my favorites. And I also. There's a great little Italian restaurant over in Southbridge, Mario's.
Okay.
My good friend Mario, and he's got his mother's home-cooked Italian recipes.
So we're talking
that
pasta here.
And boy, they have the best chicken cacciatore around. And I try to get that once a week.
Okay.
But really, the thing is that we really, as we get older, we don't balance our foods, and we need to be real careful.
Sure.
You know, like for instance. We don't get enough greens. We don't get enough veggies. And it's like, for instance, I'll go out and I'll get a sandwich at a restaurant. And instead of French fries, I'll see if they got a veggie. So they have broccoli or they have carrots or whatever, and that's what I'll get for my instead of French fries.
But Coach, you've always been the poster guy for good living. I mean, whether it's your flu shot or whatever the case.
Well,
you always do
I
that.
think the most important thing for any human being, never mind their age, but as we age, you gotta start with yourself first.
Oh, sure.
And if you don't take care of yourself, nobody's gonna. And the point I'm making is, get yourself a good physician. Like I have a great PCP, primary care physician at Mass General, Dr. Alan Goral, who teaches at Harvard Medical School. But I've been with him since 1984, and he takes very good care of me. I get checked every 6 months. I had a colonoscopy recently because he wants to make sure I'm okay. And as you age, various things will come along. And if you don't take care of them, and
Little
you're not
challenges,
careful,
you might say.
yeah, well, it's like Dr. Goral says to me, I'd rather be safe than be sorry.
Oh, sure.
I'd rather have you get checked and know that you're okay than find out later I should have and I didn't.
Yeah, that's why I want to drive home this message about things like calcium, dietary fiber, vitamin A and B are really good parts of anybody's diet, especially if you're old, over the age of 60. And there are other nutrients that are better eaten in moderate amounts, certain fats, cholesterol, sodium, certain
Right.
sugars. So that's something that your audience needs to really be aware of, what's really good for you and what is
You know that
less good.
absolutely amazes me sometimes is I'll stop at the local donut place, and people will come.
I'm a strong advocate of donuts, by the way,
and
Richard.
people will come in. No, I'm going to tell you. People will come in there, and I'll stand there, and I get a cup of black hazelnut. That's it, plain black coffee, small. I don't get a huge size. I get small black hazelnut. But I've had people come in there, and honestly, it's the last thing they need. And I'm not trying to be crass when I refer to the size they are. But having said that, and we've had this program about obesity.
We've talked about obesity.
They'll come in there and they'll order a cup of coffee. However, double cream, double sugar, double.
What's wrong with that?
There's no coffee left.
Right.
It's
all ingredients, all additives.
it's tainted,
Right.
Whatever. And I'm saying to myself, triple sugars and triple creams. What are you thinking about?
And that's not even mentioning the donuts that are the add-on, right?
No, it's not donuts anymore. They get these sandwiches now that, egg and sausage and
Right,
bagels and whatever.
Right.
But
Watch those
the
carbs.
point is that we need to think. Sugar's fine in moderation. Now I take a lot of vitamins. I'm the first to share
You're a
with
bit
you.
of a Spartan,
I
think,
take
really.
E, I take D.
We talked about
I
those a
take
moment ago.
magnesium.
Yeah.
I take zinc.
A and B, right?
Yep, I have
Yeah,
B12. I have
Good man.
B12.
I knew that.
And I take those every morning, and I take a calcium pill, and I take
Good for you.
omega-3.
Right.
And I have I take little garlic
That
pill.
keeps the vampires away.
Yeah, it does. It keeps all the cobwebs out. But anyway.
Well, okay, so when you talk about these people at the donut shop, that depresses me. Let's hit depression. Let's talk about depression.
Okay.
Not uncommon for any age group. Might be even a little bit more common among our seniors. It really
Yes,
might be.
yes.
Depression's rough. You feel sad. You feel tired all the time. You may sleep too much. Could even cry a lot, which is very sad.
Well,
Lose interest in eating. You have trouble paying attention. You feel nervous and cranky. So depression is a real issue.
That's right. Well,
It really
I want to
is.
share something with you, and folks can relate to this. When my dad passed away, and my mother lived 20 more years after my dad died. But my dad passed, he was 75. But the point I'm making is, about 3 or 4 years after he had died, I was down at the Cape visiting my mother one weekend. And my mother looked over at me and she says, sometimes loneliness can be the worst thing in the
That's
world.
tough.
And what happens, you mentioned it, folks get older
Right.
and their loved ones have passed
Friends
on.
are gone. Families have grown up and gone out.
Yeah, the kids are all up and out, and all of a sudden they're sitting alone, and they get sad and they get into a depression.
And things that used to make them happy just
Happy.
don't make them happy anymore. They're just not
that's right.
focusing on that.
They look and say, "Gee, there's no future for me."
Right.
And they get down on things, and they lose that sparkle.
They do.
And end up in a depression.
Right.
They got to be very careful because
Yeah.
boy, a depression can be
It's
just
tough, and
debilitating.
It can cause death. There's no
Oh,
doubt
yeah.
about
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
Impact on the quality of your life, folks. It really can. But there are medications. There are safe medications that your health team can prescribe for
Yep.
you. There are ways from a psychological aspect to talk to a counselor and get back into things. I mean, look at. You're as busy as can be. You're as busy
Well,
as.
I stay. Oh, you
Well,
have
you
to
are. You're busy
stay
than
active.
the average 21-year-old.
Stay active.
You want to get involved,
Yep.
remain involved, remain interested in things that make you happy, develop new friends, develop more
Yeah.
friends. They're out there. People
Yep.
are out there. So depression, although it's a real problem, once again, there's literature from the FDA that we can mail, we can send you, we can talk to you about it, we can do that. We're not medical people. We're not going to make a
Yeah.
diagnosis, but we can give you literature that will help you with your diagnosis
That's right.
and your prognosis.
That's right.
So that's a real thanks for pointing that out. I think wearing great shirts like that really helped too.
Well,
That's great. I like
this,
it.
well, this is